When I was 15 and my parents split up and I was full of rage and decided to destroy things with spray cans and pens. And after a little while it steadily just turned into something I really enjoyed. It was more of a coping mechanism for my emotions. I realised it's something I could work on for the rest of my life. I still feel like I'm an enraged teenager a lot of the time as well. It's still a part of me. Now I feel like I've met a lot of people who are similar and like-minded with the art and use it as a tool. So after a little while, you start to learn things about yourself and figure out what does work for you, and drawing just worked for me. Some people would say it's like talent or gift, but there's a lot of hard work that goes into it as well. So I obsessed over art because it was something I enjoyed and I got a reward from it. Like every time I'd finish a piece of artwork, I'd either be happy with it because I've done it and then pick it apart and see where I can improve, and it's a constant evolution. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm at a level where I'm the duck's nuts. It's just sort of something that I've enjoyed doing and I continue to enjoy doing. When I first started, you use anything because you haven't got money. You know, you grab whatever you can. It might be a dirty old silver tin in Dad's shed, so you grab it. It might be a few pens that you see laying about. You grab them. And I found myself one day driving to go do a painting with a friend, and I was like, oh, I've got paint in the car. And he's like, okay, cool. And I thought I'd packed cans, but I didn't. I had bucket paint and I was like, far out, this is not good. Rummaged around, found a car sponge. It wasn't really calculated, it just sort of came to be that I dipped the sponge in the bucket, and I'm telling you, it's way more efficient than spray cans. Like, it is 3 times quicker, 5 times cheaper, and you can mix your own colours. It's endless. Biggest style and technique would be definitely Soffles. Just the mindset that dude approaches things. Maybe not even be the particular style or anything with him, but the mindset. Like when you watch him paint, you can see that he is intense, and that's the one action he's doing, and every line's deliberate. It's quick, it's a flick, it's out and in. Like, that dude painted differently. A lot of the DTS guys, they'd always been just the outstanding crew. But now I'm sort of making a bit more of a conscientious decision to choose like different colours. Like when you sort of associate with street art or graffiti, it's like hard jagged edges and popping colours and like bright colours, and like they work, but you sort of find some artists relying on colour and a whole heap of different colour to make their piece attractive. So I went through a phase of just using like black and white or opposite primary. That strengthened a different part of my art. But now, yeah, I'm just sort of, I like pastel colours. They're good fun, and yellow's nice too. Everything's balls and rectangles and squares or cylinders, and they build it and they build it and they build it and render it. What was easiest for me to get my shapes, and then I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it and adding shapes onto that and doing it some more, and now it's gotten to a point where the thinner I do things, the more room I have to add around it and the more complex I can build. So thin out your letters, you've got more room to put stuff in. Thin out your characters, you've got more room to put like jewellery or clothing, and it won't clash or be lost in the shape. It's essentially just a big jumble of composition. It's just a constant battle of composition. Like any approach that I have with my art, I've got no idea what I'm doing. I do different techniques now, where I used to go into a piece of artwork with a goal or a set visual gauge, and now I literally just dabble around on a page, build shapes and keep going from there. And I wanted to create depth. Obviously wanted the No.ONE Network name in there, little trust no one at the top. That's just making it up as I go and getting something out of it at the end, really, you know, like something unique, something different. I feel like the No.ONE Network brand is doing something in Brisbane that Brisbane really needs. Brisbane and their outlook on art isn't really welcoming. It's pushed to the corners a lot, but I'm starting to realise it's slowly becoming a little bit more accepted. Maybe not in the council's view, but definitely in the public's view. It's definitely setting a good platform for more art, more creativity, which I consider important. Where do I want to see Brisbane? I want to see Brisbane welcoming artists a lot more. The graffiti task force is a bit of a They've slowly become a bit of a force to be reckoned with here, and it's forced a lot of talent out of Brisbane. I'm usually optimistic, but I think it's a long road. I think it's a long road for Brisbane's mural scene, like, to actually flourish and have some kind of confronting artwork. Like, a lot of the art that you do see out there, it's not going to last. Like, the council's not going to accept it. You're going to have to find a niche where you're painting your style, but you're painting topics that everyone can relate to. And my parents said I should be painting different stuff, but I paint what I want to paint. They call it antisocial behaviour, but I think those people are just experimenting to find their niche where they are a benefit to the community. The people that have become successful through their artwork have adapted really well. It's something I've struggled to do. Hats off to the people that can change and do their artwork and manipulate their skills to give a client what they need. It helped me travel. Like, without graffiti, I don't think I would have been to as many places as I have been and had such amazing experiences with people I never met. Time's crazy. That's pretty much the basis of it. If you're patient enough and just wade through as much shit that can be thrown at you, every now and then you pop out the other side. There's one thing that my dad says, and he says you never lay down. The situation where you're uncomfortable and you start to realise the only thing you got is you, that's when you lean on yourself and I can do it. I was painting for years for all the wrong reasons. Paint for myself, paint to get that different spots, but eventually that all stopped and it all fell in a heap and I started to realise what I was doing. One thing I will say, if anyone thinks they're not talented or they haven't got an artistic skill or bone in their body, have a go, because everyone does. It's like a muscle, you exercise it and then all of a sudden it gets easier and easier and easier. Don't think it's stupid that you might fail. You will, but you just keep trying. Yeah, you'll get better.